update, and we move from the score update to now our second out of the 1, 2, 3 innings. See, look at the way we do things here. So let's talk about this. So given Mookie Betts' injury, right? Mookie Betts was very much in the thick of the National League MVP conversation. He was hitting over 300, 10 homers, 40 RBIs, and 892 OPS. Obviously, he's a great defensive player, a WAR that's near 4. Like, he's definitely around, was around in that conversation before the injury. Now you're kind of looking at Shohei Ohtani at the top of this list, being like, okay, like, are we kind of entering territory where, well, now that Mookie Betts isn't in the picture, is Shohei Ohtani kind of running away with the award? And you can kind of make the same case about Aaron Judge, except the injuries aren't really there to present itself for anybody to get in the way, really. But for the most part of the season, it's really been between Aaron Judge and Juan Soto, what it looks like for the American League MVP. So, Dalton, I'll ask you this on both ends of the league here. Now that Mookie Betts is hurt and kind of out of the discussion, at least for the time being, are Shohei Ohtani and Aaron Judge sort of running away with the MVP discussion in their respective leagues at the moment?
So I think Aaron Judge absolutely is. I think Aaron Judge, I think he's minus 125 at DraftKings now, which, like, minus money on a player to win the MVP in June, it's like crazy. But still, like, I think he's going to win it. Like, if Aaron Judge stays healthy, how does he not?
Yeah.
Like, that's really what that, like, if you're betting that, you're basically just betting that Aaron Judge is going to stay healthy, which I don't think is a bad bet. I'll talk about that later. But,
yeah.
I think Aaron Judge has that thing pretty locked down. Ohtani, I think the bet that you're making with Ohtani is just that, like, Marcell Ozuna is going to, like, return to human form at some point, which, like, I think he will. That being said, part of this segment that I'm excited about is kind of talking about who our sleepers are. I'll go ahead with mine now. Like, Marcell Ozuna right now is the National League leader in batting average, home runs, RBIs, slugging percentage, OPS, and he's 10-1 to win MVP. Look, like,
Marcell on regression.
Marcell Ozuna is kind of a bozo, like, just in general. But, like, I mean, if he keeps hitting like this, I mean, he's going to win MVP if he does this all. So, I think him at 10-1 is not, like, the worst thing ever. Maybe he just has become a god now, and it just is what it is. That being said, obviously, I think Ohtani's the favorite and should be. So that in the American League, I think, you really need, if anybody else is going to win it, they're going to need Judge to get hurt. At that point, the names that come to mind for me are Gunnar Henderson, Bobby Witt, Juan Soto, probably one of those three.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, I think as far as the National League is concerned, I'm actually, I shouldn't say I'm surprised, because you're a very rational baseball fan when it comes to these things. But yes, like, Shohei Ohtani, I don't think is running away with the award at the moment at all. And in fact, I actually think at this current moment, he's behind Marcell Ozuna. Because, like, you kind of, for reasons that you already explained, he's pretty much leading him in every single category offensively, and neither one of them play any defense. So there's, like, you can't even really make that argument either, because they both don't play defense. I would say that as far as, like, a National League MVP dark horse, here's the thing. Like, you have guys that are having, like, phenomenal years, right? That are like that you just don't see are sustainable, right? Like, I don't think that Jurickson Profar is going to continue raking at the pace that he has been raking so far. And listen, if he does, I'll eat crow. But at the same time, you're kind of just like, okay, come on. I will say, we talk about him a lot, and I don't hate if he goes on a massive hot streak and maybe a couple of injuries go his way or something like that. I don't hate William Contreras. 834 OPS, 9 homers, 48 RBIs so far. He's a little behind. He strikes out a ton. I'll say that. No, he doesn't. Actually, no, he doesn't. I was looking at the line before. 62 strikeouts on the season. I was looking at Kyle Schwarber's 90. But I don't hate that. As a catcher, MVP candidate. I don't know what the betting odds on him are, but and like I said, I wouldn't like bet him to just like watch a few months from now he's going to be in it. I'm not saying that. It's a dark horse candidate, so it is a little out there, but that's something that I don't really hate when I look at it. So I don't know. Are there decent betting numbers on him?
Let me pull it up. I mean, I think Contreras, he was up there among the top guys. Pull this back up. I can get it back up in a second. Yeah. So right now he's 15-1. I mean, I think that's about right.
Probably.
But if you believe in him, it's not a bad place to look. I mean, so the top guys right now in betting odds: Shohei Ohtani plus 200, Bryce Harper plus 350.
That's really the one I like. Really, like if you want to talk about a guy that's going to have sustained or that we believe is going to have sustained success throughout the season, especially going against guys that don't play defense, which apparently the voters like value pretty heavily. Bryce Harper is the guy that I think people should look into, but he's not really that's the thing. Like he's not a dark horse really to me.
That's why I didn't mention him, but I also just think that I look at it from an odds perspective, and like plus 350 is just not really juicy enough for me to take an interest in it.
100%.
Ozuna at 10-1, I just think it's fascinating. Like the guy's leading the league in every category, and yet he's considered the fourth most likely to win the award.
Yeah. So given that, right? So Marcell Ozuna is 10-1 right now for the award. He's leading the National League in every offensive category. If you're a bettor, right? Are you not like springing onto that right now?
I mean, it's a matter of like what you think is real, and like don't get me wrong, Marcell Ozuna is a guy that can always hit, but like he's not this guy all the time.
No, you're right, 100%.
And he's old as dirt too. I forget how old he is exactly, but he's been like and the other thing with Ozuna too is I think like what works against him is obviously like he's a complete dumbass off the field with like the DUIs and the domestic abuse bullshit. Like there's just a lot of baggage there that like I think he's gonna have to really blow people out of the water to overcome that baggage.
Yeah, he's 33. He's not that old. He might play like he's old.
He plays like he's
old. He's only 30. See, he's like the National League version of Salvador Perez. You know what I mean? Like you just think Salvador Perez is 100, but he's not. He's like 32. It blows my mind. As far as the American League is concerned, I think, listen, I said before the season that picking Aaron Judge is almost easy money. Now, I'm glad that after the treacherous April he had, he is now kind of, coming back to earth to where, like, here's the thing. And this is why I think, like people need to give Marcell Ozuna they need to give Marcell Ozuna a lot of credit as far as this. Juan Soto and Aaron Judge were the only two players with an OPS over 1,000 for a long time. Marcell Ozuna is in that category now, but like Marcell Ozuna is really the only guy in the majors that's having a season that's pretty comparable to Aaron Judge at the moment. Like the only real difference really is that like Aaron Judge hits more homers and Marcell Ozuna gets more hits. Like that's real. Like Marcell Ozuna doesn't walk as much and he gets a few more hits, but Aaron Judge hits more homers and walks more. Like that's really the difference between them. So I think as far as like I said before, as far as the American League is concerned, I love Aaron Judge to win the award. I don't know that I would bet against him at the moment, but I will say, and again, I watched this over the week. Bobby Witt Jr. is really, really, really good. That kid is sick. So, and listen, the year that he's having, he's hitting 327, 11 homers, 51 RBIs. He has a 928 OPS, and he has 21 stolen bases. Like, and I don't think he's gotten caught. Like, I don't know that he has. No, he has gotten caught. Why am I thinking that he didn't? But he's got 8 caught steals, but whatever. He's got 21 stolen bases. He's fast as hell. Okay. There was somebody I was watching over the weekend where he hadn't gotten caught stealing yet. It might have been like Rafaela or Duran or something. It was somebody. I don't know. I got him confused. Whatever. But he's a special player. If I'm picking, I guess, a considered dark horse, really, I would say Bobby Witt Jr. Especially given, again, he's a phenomenal defensive shortstop. OPS, like I said, 928. He's a special player.
Yeah, I mean, I can't argue with you, right? I think he's second highest odds, him and Gunnar. If you made me bet somebody other than Aaron Judge, which I'm not really interested in doing, but if you made me, I'd look at Juan Soto at plus 550, like if he stays healthy the rest of the year. But yeah, I mean, it's really just a question of, does Judge stay healthy? That's all.
Yeah, and one of the things that I think that you can give to Juan Soto is, like, Juan Soto, as far as consistency is concerned, like Juan Soto's pretty much been the same player all year, right? For 3 months, he's looked virtually the same, right? He hasn't really dipped that far in production. When he's gotten hot, and that's really kind of the end of the story. Aaron Judge has kind of had a teeter-tottering season where, like, he started the season terribly because he got injured in spring training. And then for the last month and a half, 2 months, he's been the best player in baseball by far. So, it kind of depends on, like, it's almost like, what do you think is going to happen? I think Aaron Judge, at least from a guy who watches the Yankees every day, Aaron Judge is more prone to have extended lulls than Juan Soto is. So I think that, like, if Aaron Judge does have another 3-week lull like he did early in the season, like, that could dip things quite a bit. So, but again, like I said, I'm not taking Aaron Judge for that reason. I'm just saying that if you were going to argue for somebody else, I think that would kind of be an argument that you could make, really.
So here's the thing for me, though. We've seen him go on that lull already.
Yeah.
And it's a month and a half later, and he leads the league in everything. Like, he could easily sustain another lull like that or two and lead the league in everything. So for me, it's literally just, does he stay healthy?